Hey guys, welcome in to the Sportscast here. We got your Week 12 power rankings. We're going to get into those. We're going to talk about um, the Week 12 games and any more information sports related. What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Howdy.
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good. Awesome. Getting ready for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for it. Going to my mom's, so getting ready for all that.
Yeah, we're having a quiet one this year. No one's coming over. It's going to be kind of nice just to eat. And my mom and wife are like, we're going to do chicken instead of turkey. And I'm like, what are you doing? Well, you got to have turkey. It's freaking Thanksgiving. All right.
Yeah.
So I put my foot down. I said, no, I'll buy a turkey. We're doing a turkey, not no freaking chicken. And
Chicken.
trying to ruin Thanksgiving. It's the best holiday we got. And well, you, Craig, you going over to the parents' house?
No, my sister's.
Sisters? Oh, okay. Nice.
It'll be, yeah.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, welcome into the show. We got to get back on our usual scheduling programming. Maybe it's better to do it on Saturday. I don't know, but we'll figure that out and get back to it. But welcome in, join the chat. Let's get into the the Week 12 top 5 power rankings here, and I'm interested to see who you guys got. I think there's really only 5 teams you can have in there. Maybe you guys will surprise me. It just depending on where you want to put them, in my opinion. But let's get started with that. My number 5, we always go 5 to 1. My number 5 is I got the New England Patriots here. They're 9-2. You know, still this season, didn't expect them to be this good. I mean, let's be honest. They went out and they got Mike Vrabel, which I thought was a good hire. Drake Mays looked a lot better this season. And Vrabel's got this team playing different. Their only losses are the Steelers and the Rams, which aren't bad losses, either one. They beat the Bills and Bucks. Those are their 2 big wins. So I got the Patriots here at number 5, looking to win that division and take it away from the Buffalo, which we all figured Buffalo would win that division pretty easily this season. We also need to talk about what's going on with them later on. But I got Patriots here, number 5. Craig, what do you have at number 5?
I got the Eagles. I understand their record, but every game is ugly, and you got wide receivers that are basically quitting on routes, and the implosion I think is coming. I really thought it would start against Detroit. That was an ugly game. They win 16-9 or whatever it is. I mean, yeah, the defenses look pretty good, but offensively they just haven't looked great. And I think when they start to get into a tougher part of the schedule and play some better teams, and I just think the implosion's coming. I'm not impressed with how they've gotten to the 9 wins. I really think they should have probably 3 or 4 losses, and they've they're just barely squeaking by every week. So I got them at 5. Jeff?
I'm gonna go with New England on this as well. I'm gonna kind of go with Brian on that, but they're doing great. I just think that you kind of want to see some wins against some kind of, I guess, playoff foes kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think we've seen a couple games with them, and they got to play their schedule, but still, I think in terms of the way the team is put together, it's like unexpected. I don't really think people were expecting them to be like this and to be playing like this, but they're playing a lot of close games. They're playing a lot of they're playing against some teams that that's kind of the up in the air thing. You hear sports analysts talk about it, like, who are they playing against? Like, oh, okay, the Jets. Like, it's just I kind of want to see them go up against some of these playoff teams down the stretch, hopefully. And I kind of want to see them, if they make the playoffs, when they make the playoffs, I want to see what that looks like. So right now I'm kind of, the 5 mark is like, they're good, but I want to know how good. So that's kind of why I put them there.
All right. Yeah, and Craig, just go off of what you said with the Eagles. I mean, we're waiting for that implosion still. I maybe it's coming. I mean, we talked about it last year. Saquon held them glued together. AJ Brown's having a lot of problems this year. We'll see if it happens. We'll see where the Eagles are at on mine and Jeff's list here. My number 4, I got the Colts. Colts are another team just like the Patriots. Didn't expect them to do much this year. They've been balling out. They're 8-2. They get Danny Dimes. I mean, we've talked about it all season long. They're surprising a lot of football teams, and I think if things continue, I think their coach is the coach of the year. Just how we didn't think the Colts are going to do anything, and here they are. But their biggest win is the Broncos and Chargers, and they've lost to the Rams and Steelers. Their 2 losses really still aren't bad. They've beat a lot of good. I mean, they've beat a lot of bad teams, but they've handled business. They've beat them out by 20 points, by 15 points. It's 2-score games. It's blowouts. And when I look at my power rankings, I usually look at, okay, what's your record? And then I go by and I look at, all right, what's your major wins and what's your major losses or your losses you have. Usually if you're in the top 5 right now, it's going to be 2 or 3 losses. And I circle those. And so I got the Colts here. We'll see what happens when they get to the playoff time. Or down the stretch, we'll see. But the Colts are here and they're for real. And I think they've got to be in your top 5. But number 4, Jeff, who do you got at number 4 there, bud?
I'm gonna go with the Eagles on here. It's kind of where I'm at with them. I kind of understand where Greg's coming from. I think it's like you're kind of waiting for a breakout offensively just because of how they played last year. Saquon Barkley isn't the same. I don't know what's going on there. He just hasn't really done a lot like he did last year. I think a lot of people
rode him into the ground like Seabiscuit last year.
Right? Yeah. Unless there's some crazy push at the end and Saquon just, I don't know, finds something and then all of a sudden we're like, okay. I only put them in 4 because they're defending champs. They find ways to win games as well. But the offense, you see it. There's a lot of noise going on. There's a lot of back and forth with offensive players getting frustrated with, in wins, right? Like they're getting frustrated with the quarterback and other offensive players in wins. And then you have I think I don't remember if I was correct or not, but it was their meeting with a player and an owner during a practice talking about how the quarterback is, they're just getting frustrated with how the offense is ran. Then he's mouthing off on social media. Then the owner comes out and talks to him and tells him to stop doing that. So there's something wrong here. We may not see it yet, but I'm just giving them the only benefit of the doubt I'm giving him is that if there's some strange thing that they turn it on, I don't think anybody talks about the noise anymore. And I think that'd be kind of insane if that happened. I'm not expecting it, but I'm giving them a little bit of benefit of the doubt just because, they were in the playoffs. I don't know how many years and they won a Super Bowl. And I just, you kind of know who they are in a way, especially down the stretch and especially in the playoffs. They're going to be a grindy team. I don't think they're gonna be anywhere close to what they were last year, but because of that they're trying to change that narrative of how they play. It's why you're seeing 1,000 tush pushes in a game, even though it makes no sense. But that's kind of who this team is. I don't really offensively, I don't think they're anywhere even close to what they were last year.
Yeah, they definitely on offense don't look the same. I mean, they are a nitty gritty team, and I'll talk more about them when they're on where I'm having on my list. But number 4, Craig, who you got?
I got the Patriots. Drake May has made probably one of the biggest switches in you've seen in a long time. Last year he came in mid-season and looked kind of like. When he was drafted, I thought he was going to be better than some of the guys that were drafted in front of him. I came out and said that. I thought Drake May was one of the top guys drafted. When he came into the NFL, he kind of looked like J.J. McCarthy. like the game was too fast for him, and that he was very overwhelmed and really had no time. And boy, the turnaround that he's had and some of the throws that he's made are what I saw when he came to the NFL. And Travion Henderson has been a surprise. His speed and agility, and he had 2 huge runs last week that broke that game, kind of broke that game wide open. And they've always been good defensively, and I think Vrabel brings that defensively. He helps with that. And boy, talk about a good hire. You know, when he got let go from Tennessee, we all thought that was a mistake and thought that he would catch on somewhere else and do a good job, and he sure has. So I mean, they beat Buffalo. I understand that Miami and the Jets maybe aren't your biggest wins. Miami's come on a little bit and put a couple wins together. But I just think New England, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you know, so I mean, you unfortunately have to play those guys,
right?
You know, twice. So you get a couple wins that maybe aren't strength of schedule wins, but I mean, you got to play who's in front of you. But I just like what they're doing right now, and I think that they're you know where they're at.
That's what you got to look at. Like, I don't necessarily look at who they've played. Like, I look at who they've played. It's not really how, because you don't make the schedule, but it's how do they beat those bad teams? Did they handle business? And a lot of times the Patriots, they have handled business. Where I look at my team in particular, you look at the teams we play, and we don't seem to blow out anybody. We're always in the game with everybody, and that's really annoying. So, but the Patriots have handled business. Did they change anything offensively, like offensive coordinator, offensive coach? Because, last year we talked, Drake made it look as good.
Isn't McDaniels back there?
It's McDaniels. Okay. It's still McDaniels.
Yeah. All right.
Well, he had left to go head coach and everything like that. I don't know if he was there last year or not.
No, he's been back for a while, I think.
But
I'm pretty sure he's been
Josh
back for
McDaniels, the New England,
I'm just wondering.
Obviously, he's one of those guys that's better as a coordinator than he is a head coach. He's never had any success head coaching, but he's had a lot of success as an offensive coordinator.
I'm just wondering,
we probably drafted some offensive line help, and then having a solid running back helps.
Took away, made that jump, and but because coaching matters most, I believe, in football, and I think maybe leadership of Vrabel. I know he's more of a defensive guy, but leadership there, they've got a good running back now, and I believe it was Derpy on the show who said Henderson's going to be the rookie of the year. So he might have called that one, but
he sure has had some. I mean, his first play in the NFL, he takes a kickoff return and runs it back for a touchdown. I mean, so he has been very impressive.
I think my only little thing when it comes to the Patriots is I want to see them against a top 3 defense. Like, what is it when they go up against a top defense and that defense shuts the run down, and then they're forced to do something, or they have a pass rush that now Drake May's like having to run to get out of the rushing them and putting them kind of in some pressure situations. How does he react to that is, I guess, one of the questions too. So, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say the Bills are in that category. I don't really necessarily trust that defense too much, but I would like to see the Patriots against a kind of a big time defense.
You'll see. I'm looking at their schedule. I mean, they lost the Steelers, which tough. They only put up 14. I'm just trying to find good.
That's
Browns. The Browns. They put up 32 points on. The Browns are pretty good defensively, at least. But we'll see. I mean, they play the Jets. The Jets are the Jets. They don't play anybody defensively. I mean, they play at the Bills again. They got the Ravens, who have been bad this season.
I think the Bills have gotten backwards on defense. I don't know what happened, but I just think that they're not as good as they were.
After Thursday night, the Bills have gone backwards altogether.
Yeah.
You ain't lying. We'll talk.
That offensive line is a sieve.
Yeah, we'll get into that here. 8 sacks and everything else, but number 3, Craig. Let's start off with you. Who do you got number 3?
I got the Colts. They've stepped back a little bit. I want to see if Daniel Jones can kind of right the ship a little bit. He's had a couple of games that weren't. He played so well to start the season. When you have a game that was kind of average, it looks like a step back. So they're still winning.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Taylor is right now, probably in the MVP discussion.
Yeah.
So
really
that
good.
helps take a lot of pressure off Jones. But I'd like to see where Daniel Jones, if they hit a team that can stop Jonathan Taylor, which doesn't seem to be a thing, then Daniel Jones is going to have to kind of rekindle some of that from earlier than the season. But I mean, 9-2, or 8-2 or whatever. I mean, you're still winning and you're playing some really good football, and we never saw any of this coming.
No.
When they named Daniel Jones the starting quarterback and kind of almost have looked like they're going to move on from a guy that they drafted way high. It looks like Anthony Richardson's time in Indy may be over. Shout out to probably the coach of the year, unless they just fall apart and start to come apart, in Shane Sheckton or whatever his name is. He's done a hell of a job with what he's got. A couple years ago, the last couple seasons, Jonathan Taylor has looked like he'd kind of lost a step and was starting to feel that running back, hit that running back wall, and he's kind of reinvented himself and come back into what we remember Jonathan Taylor coming into the league as. Yeah.
He's taking a step forward this year. I don't know if maybe he's more healthy, Jonathan Taylor, this season than he was last season. Yeah. We see the same thing with Saquon. He, 1 year he's great, next year maybe he's just too tired from that. But Jonathan Taylor's playing lights out. So, Jeff, who do you got there at number 3?
I have the Colts as well. I think that they're playing very well, and they're playing. No one expected any of it. The running back is incredible. Their offensive line's really good. After watching the Broncos play them, we couldn't really sack him. Like, I think we got him maybe once. I don't remember. Maybe like twice. I can't remember, but you just couldn't get past the offensive line. They really protected him. And that's kind of one of the reasons why that game was so close. And, it was just, I think that they're playing very well. I think that we're now at a moment in time where there's so much film on these guys. I'm curious how teams are now going to defend against, Daniel Jones. I'm just curious if they've seen something in some of these close games, or a loss, and they look and they're trying to kind of game plan towards facing them, to where maybe a defense can kind of get a step on him, kind of, so to speak. So, but it's going to be tough stopping the run, and I think that's what sets everything up. So, they're definitely right there. And if they continue on, that's going to be a tough team to go up against down the stretch.
Yeah, when you play a team like them in the playoffs, like with a good defense, and then we can run the ball, that's really hard to team to beat. When everyone's tired in the end of the season, you get into the playoffs, you see those teams that are usually blowing people out with a high octane pass. They tend to slow down a little bit, and you play a team like, the Colts remind me kind of the Eagles. They're going to run the ball well. They're going to play really good defense. And those teams are hard to beat in the playoffs. But Number 3, I got the Broncos here. They're 9-2. They've got the Chiefs and Eagles were 2 of their wins. Losses are Colts and Chargers, so their losses aren't bad. They should have beat the Colts if the field goal guy didn't make a bad penalty at the end of the game. They would be 10-1 here. The Broncos defense is lights out. I mean, they get to the quarterback. They're best at sacking the quarterback, getting pressure. And then on the opposite side of the ball, they look better the last couple of weeks. Bo Nix and the wide receiving crew has looked pretty good. So this team to me is going to win this division. And we talked about it this year, Jeff, and about the Broncos possibly winning this division and being a kind of a surprise that they're going to win it and not the Chiefs. But I got the Broncos here. Craig, who do you got number 3? Sorry, you already did number 3. The Colts, my bad. Let's do number 2.
I got Denver at 2. That defense is flying around. They may have the most sacks in NFL history, and
this is turning that way.
I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't seen a lot of Broncos football. I've seen a little bit, but if they have a better pass rush than the Houston Texans, God help whoever they got to play, because Houston was all over the place Thursday night. Will Anderson and I mean, that's so if Denver has more sacks than them, it's super impressive. And Bo Nix has finally had a little bit of a slow start. He's made a couple throws here and there that you're like, I probably wouldn't have done that. But overall, he's played well. And with that defense, really all you have to do is kind of just manage the offense, and you're probably going to be okay, because it doesn't appear they're going to let up a lot of points. If you can put up a lot of points against Denver, you must have a pretty high flying offense, because Dallas has one of the top offenses in the league. They couldn't score against them. Obviously, with 2 losses, I don't think Indy put up a ton. It was a low scoring event when they deal. So that defense is going to keep the Denver Broncos in every football game, and that's really when you come playoff time. When you talk playoff time, that's what you want. You want to be able to stay in football games and let the offense be able to deal. And I think the Denver Broncos, obviously, the win against Kansas City was big, because the last couple of years, that's kind of been, they just haven't been able to get over that hump and find a way to beat that team, and they do. And I think they're rolling right now.
What surprised me with Denver this season is how well the wide receivers are playing. Jeff, the wide receiver crew has played pretty good. I was kind of seeing how they're going to be, but
we let the league and drop passes, Brian. So I don't know.
Do you?
Yeah, we do.
Well, hell, the Packers dropped 8 last week. I'm going, catch the ball.
It seems to be that they have a different guy that steps up every week. One week it's Troy Franklin. Mims comes in and comes back, and he steps up a little bit. It just seems to be not one guy. It's
hard to defend against something like that, because you there's not a one go-to
guy. You can't lock in on one guy and be like, all right, this is the guy we got to focus on, because every week it seems to be somebody else steps up.
And did they beat the Chiefs without Surtain, or did he play? Because he's been injured, right?
No Surtain. We haven't had Surtain in 4 weeks.
Yeah, he's eligible to come back. I think they put him in IR. He's eligible to come back, I think, after the bye.
Yeah, he's coming back to the Commander game.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, who do you got at number 2?
I have the Broncos.
I figured. I already wrote it down here for you at number 2. I already put them down here for you.
It's been a very interesting year. I'll say that much. There's been some crazy stuff. We do, unfortunately, penalties are still a little bit of a problem. But I think some of the some of the main issues too that Bronco fans have been talking about is we have dropped a lot of passes. Even the Chiefs game, there was 3 times where the ball's right on a guy and he doesn't hold on to it, or it's right on a guy and he looks forward and then it plops in the air, and I'm like, what's going on, man? And some of that's Troy Franklin. That's the thing about the Bronco fans is they love and hate Troy Franklin. Like there's moments where you're like, Troy Frank, come on, man, it's right there. It's at one point it hit his helmet. I'm like, come on, dude. And then all of a sudden he'll make an insane catch, and you're just like, gosh, dude, like I want to not like him, but I like him too. Like it's kind of a weird thing. Yeah, the Broncos are playing a kind of a crazy deal. Their defense has been keeping them in games. I mean, there's even an argument that Bronco fans have been saying that they could easily be 10-0 based off of some of the games we lost. You look at the Colts game, a leverage call ended up the kick was going to be plus 60. Then it ended up being a makeable field goal at that point. And then he ended up kicking it and making it. Then they go back. The first loss we had against the Chargers, and that was also kind of a late game snafu on defense. Riley Moss, who, referees tend to love throwing flags his way, got a late second pass interference call, questionable ticky-tack, whatever, and that set up a Chargers game-winning field goal. So, yeah, I mean, there's some weird things that have happened, but overall, it seems like with this team, it's like every man steps up when they need to. And there are a few teams that have that depth, because if you were to say that we would literally have won every game without Pat Surtain II, I would have probably said that's a joke. And how did we win? I seriously thought we would have lost to the Chiefs. I thought he would have been back for the Chief game. He wasn't. That was one of the reasons why they kept him off IR for a little bit. They were kind of toying with not putting him on there because I think they were kind of wanting to set it up to where he would be at the Chief game. And he wasn't. And I will sit there and say that there are a few players that have really stepped up. Ufanga is insane. That guy is crazy. He's in every play. He is the guy who the Chiefs were driving down. They pass it on a third down to Travis Kelce, and he completely batted that right out of Travis Kelce's hands. I was like, this guy's smaller than you. Like, yeah, he's just everywhere. So we go like even that Houston game. So that one of the things that I knew that was going to be a close game. Everybody kept going, oh yeah, I'm like, no, it's going to be a close game, man. This is going to be a defensive game. And it was. And I think they sacked Bo Nix once in that whole game. So the offensive line is playing out of their mind as well. And I don't remember how many times we sacked. I think we sacked CJ Stroud twice in that game. And then poor Mills, I think we sacked him 3 times, something like that. But like, it's the defenses. This is the most, I would say, complete team that I've seen in a long time. We have a good offensive line. We did lose J.K. Dobbins. Freaking hip drop tackle pretty much fractured his foot from the Raider game. So he's out for the year, at least until the Super Bowl, which whatever. And so that kind of derailed the things a little bit. Now we're kind of really, it's McMillan and RJ Harvey that are on the run part. Hopefully that works. That's my only biggest Achilles heel to this team offensively. And then I think Bo Nix is playing. The Chiefs game is a very interesting one, and also that Houston game. If you go back and look at some of those games, Bo Nix played a game where he allowed that defense to give up plays. He figured out what was happening on the defense, and he started picking things apart. Like in the Houston game, he went on a run and then went on another one, and they kicked a field goal and won the game. Like the Chief game, he ended up looking off a player, and that player thought he was going to throw this way, and he ended up throwing down to Franklin on a crazy dime play like that. And it was just ridiculous. Like, and so he's getting better. I do think Sean Payton's holding back a little bit, just a bit. And I think it's because if you look at the games, he's doing this a lot. Sean's not getting the plays called fast enough. And so Bo's sitting there with like 10 seconds left, having to run down to, get the guys to play. And then they're already in rush mode at that point. Now they can't audible. They can't look at the defense and make a decision. So I saw that in the first half of the Chiefs game. I did not see that in the second half, and it's a completely different half. So very interesting. But yeah, this team they're good. I mean, I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to imagine that because we've been so bad for so long. but yeah, number 2 is, I think, a perfect position for them, and yeah, they're playing out of their minds, especially on defense. It's one of the best. This is the best looking the defense has been since Super Bowl 50. My goodness.
I was muted. Sorry, I was saying Harvey's been looking really good for you guys. Hard runner.
He's a joker. He's a joker. I mean, that's what he is. He's literally a guy who can you can go, hey, we're gonna throw the ball to you, and he's just there, and you're like, okay. And then once he gets it, he did it. He's gone. He did it against the Chiefs, and he did it against Houston.
One thing I noticed, like the Chief game, y'all never gave up. Chiefs kept coming. Y'all were like, all right, I got an answer. They kept coming. All right, I got an answer. And finally we were able to win and get over the hump. And it was good to see because the Chiefs are 5-5 and they're very close to not even making the playoffs. And I think other NFL fans love it.
Well, and the Bronco players are backing up their guy. I mean, Bo Nix has been thrown through the mud all year by sports analysts and people just talking down to him and talking down about the team and we're nothing, we're not anything, like the Chiefs own this division and all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay, and to beat the Chiefs was a lot more than beating the Chiefs and getting that off our back and beating Mahomes. It was basically showing the whole NFL and all the sports analysts out there, like, shut your mouth. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, you're continuously putting that team down and literally saying, and you had players after the game, like, they're like, I'm tired of these people talking crap about our quarterback. Like, I'm sorry. How many more times does he have to prove him to yourself in the fourth quarter again and throw just absolute ridiculous passes only the receiver can catch before you finally start showing the respect on his name? So, and then after that Chiefs loss, what did you hear? You hear all these sports analysts completely reverse track.
I've always been the Broncos. They've always been a good team.
I can't remember the guy on ESPN, but he's obnoxious, and he was the biggest one of them all.
Skip Bayless?
No, not Skip Bayless. He's got a ponytail, and he's on there with Scott Broussard. I can't remember his name, but Eric something, or I can't remember. Anyway, he literally said the Broncos weren't even making the playoffs. So as soon as they won against the Chiefs, people were like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say next week? And he had nothing to say. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. And the love of fest, the thing, last I'm going to say about this, the love of fest, Patrick Mahomes is getting a little obnoxious. Tony Romo was all over him the entire game. He was just bowing down to his master. It was ridiculous all game long. And I'm just like, it's like, come on, man. Just talk about the game. We don't need to sit here and go down this love affair that's going on. Like, yeah, I'm so
Chris
sick
Collinsworth
of it,
does the same thing.
Yeah, Collinsworth's pretty bad too.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get back to the power rankings here. Number 2, and I know you guys are gonna be going, oh my God, Eagles are number 2 to me.
Oh,
here we go. 8-2. We talked about it. They just find ways to win. And I'm hoping they have a meltdown, Craig, like we talk about. But when I looked at their schedule, their losses are the Broncos. Not a bad loss. Obviously, Broncos are a good team. They had a bad loss to the Giants, but divisional game. But here's the reason I have them over the Broncos and the Colts and the Patriots. When I look at their schedule, you look at who the teams they've beat. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Rams. They beat the Bucks. They beat the Packers. They beat the Lions. Those are 5 pretty good teams. They have those wins against those teams. I think they have the toughest schedule when I look at all these other teams we have on our top 5s. That's why I got them here. Are they the best offensive football team? No. At times, their defense hasn't played that great. But to shut the Packers down to 7 points, to shut the Lions down to 9 points, that's pretty damn good. So I'm going to put the Eagles here, and until that implosion happens, I'm going to keep putting a little respect on their name, and they finding ways to win. So I got the Eagles here at number 2. I thought about the Broncos, but just those they have 5 really, really good wins against 5 football teams who have all been put in the top 5 throughout this season. So I had to give it to the Eagles here at number 2.
But we beat the Eagles.
You did beat the Eagles, yes.
No,
it was good. I'm glad you beat the Eagles. And I don't like giving the Eagles this much credit. And I'm not a Cowboy fan, Craig, so I don't hate them as much as you. But their fans just getting on and talking on their fan base is absolutely obnoxious.
Yeah, I could see that.
And so I hope they do drop off, but they're probably winning that division, and we'll see them in the playoffs and everything like that. But Craig, who do you got at number 2, bud? Or number 1? Sorry, number 1.
I got the Rams. Talk about a team where you didn't really know going into the season what it was going to be because their quarterback was. I mean, we didn't even know if Stafford was going to be able to play again with whatever injury he had in the preseason. And now he's come out and just he's in the discussion for MVP. Devontae Adams is having a season. Puka is made some catches that are just insane. Kyron Williams is running the football.
I love their tight end, man. Higbee.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I mean, they just, and I've always loved the head coach. I've always thought that McVay was above head and shoulders, analytically and smarts wise, above a lot of people. And I don't know why people are saying now that Stafford is putting in the ballot for a Hall of Fame. I mean, he clearly is a Hall of Famer with what he's done up.
Yeah, I would have already put him in that category.
So. But man, this guy, they're having a really good season, and that division's tough. I mean, at some point we've had the Niners, we've had the Seahawks, we've had all those in the top 5 at some point, and they just are really, really handling all those teams, and I just really like what the Rams are doing right now.
Yeah, I got the Rams here too. 8-2. They've beat the Colts. They beat Seattle. 2 good wins. Their losses are the Eagles and the 49ers. Tough divisional game. They beat the Seattle Seahawks last week, who's a tough beat right now as well. And I didn't think about that until you said that. We've had almost whole division in the top 5, except Arizona, because they're not good in the top 5 this season at some point. So that's good. That's surprising right there.
Adams is a former Packer, right?
Yeah. He played
Raiders,
Raider, then the Rams.
That's got to sting.
It does, because we're missing that guy on Green Bay, but I root for Adams because he's just fantastic. And
he seems to be one of those guys, kind of like Pickens, where he had some attitude problems wherever he was, and now he's with the Rams, and you don't hear anything from him, and he's having a bang up season. So it's really weird on kind of what's happened with Pickens, what's happened with Adams, guys that have kind of been the clubhouse, kryptonite, and now all of a sudden they're happy and they're productive and the talent is showing rather than hearing about them negatively.
You know what I'm hoping we see again? I'm hoping we see a Rams-Lions playoff game. Goff versus Stafford again. The trade that changed two teams, and
I think it worked out for both teams.
Yeah.
It worked out for both. One worked out more because they got the Super Bowl, right? The Rams, they beat the Bengals. The Lions beat the Rams last year in the playoffs. I believe it was last season. So it's just kind of funny how the trade and everyone's like, who won it and who, all of that crap. And the Lions have been a good football team, but they haven't got over the hump. The Rams at least won one. Hell, the Rams may go back to the Super Bowl this season. So could the Lions. So it should be pretty good. But Jeff, who do you got there at number one?
The Green Bay Packers. No, I'm kidding. You're like, oh
no, they're not top five right now.
No, it's the Rams. Pretty obvious.
I mean, I figured.
It's the Rams. I think they're playing. They're the most. It's like the most unexpected team, but also it's Sean McVay, and it should be expected, right? It's McVay. It's the way he does stuff. We should not be surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's an amazing coach. And to basically have as much talent on this team as they have lost so many picks down the stretch that they have is insane. I don't remember how many picks they traded at one point, but it was quite a bit. I don't remember if they picked in the first round for a good while, but
what's crazy to me is before this season, in the offseason, they talked about McVay retiring. They talked about trading Matthew Stafford. And here they are back. Stafford, maybe they talked to each other and say, hey, let's give it one more ride here. And right now it's working out pretty well for them.
I remember hearing that McVay was like thinking about leaving. And I'm like, why, dude? Like, that's crazy.
We'll see if they can both ride off the sunset this season. So we'll see. Rams aren't a team I want to face in the playoffs. I'll tell you that 100%. But I know we're still early to be talking about playoffs, but they're going to be there unless they have a catastrophic decline. All right, guys, let's your Week 12 top 5 power rankings here at the Sportscast. We'll probably do a power ranking every week going forward from this point on, see how it changes. Let's get into the games this weekend. And my question right now is, what's going on in Buffalo? Buffalo seems to have a little bit of a problem. They're 7-4. Which I thought they'd have a little better record now. The Houston Texans without C.J. Stroud get the job done. They sack Josh Allen 8 times. And now Josh Allen also is a reason for some of these sacks. He's holding on to the ball, running. You know how he does. He's running around trying to make a play. And then they sack him and they lose 15 yards. I'm going, man, you can't do that. There's nothing there. You got to run and you got to throw the ball away. The Josh Allen magic that he usually does it and makes this amazing throw downfield. But that wasn't happening against Houston. And they sacked him 8 times. I saw him running around like crazy. And I'm like, and he just took a 25-yard sack. Yeah. You're killing your team at this point. He ran out of magic.
I would rather take the intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding. Yeah.
Than 25-yard sack.
It's just one of those, man, this is a game they should have won. Especially when I saw it wasn't C.J. Stroud, because I didn't watch the game. I looked at the highlights. I'm like, they lost to David Mills. Come on. So, and I know it's more of the defensive thing, but that's crazy.
Davis Mills, who had 17 total passing yards in the second half. Davis Mills. 17.
Gosh. That's insane. Insane.
That's why I said I don't necessarily trust the Bills' defense. Just like they just don't look good at all.
They can't stop the run.
And that's the crazy thing about like Denver. What's weird is we stopped the run quite often, which is crazy. Like even against the Colts, they couldn't run the ball hardly. I was like, that's kind of insane. That's crazy.
You know what's gotta be maddening for Bills fans? Here's a year where the Chiefs are gonna miss the playoffs. More than likely, possibly. a year where it doesn't run through Kansas City, and your team could have your team might have to run through Buffalo, but you're going to miss it because you're not even going to win your own division. Like, that's got to be maddening. And they might. It's still possible. But right now, 7-4, I'm having a lot of doubts that you're going to win the division. And it's just a bad loss to Houston. And, I mean, they'll right the ship, and they're still going to be a good football team. It's just these games, when it comes down to seeding and playoffs, these games that you're losing matter.
I mean, are they banged up? Are they not healthy? Like, is there something wrong?
I mean,
especially
not
on the
really.
offensive line? Like,
no,
they got their running back, they got their quarterback, they have,
and
they're banged up a little bit at wide out.
Okay.
I mean, we talked about this offseason. They didn't make a lot of moves. They didn't really do anything. They didn't change. They didn't go out and get a big free agent.
Yeah. But
so that
when you have the season you had last year, why make a lot of changes? I mean, you had the MVP in the league, and
I think depth
won a bunch of games, and
I think depth is the big question on that team. Is like, because you see it with the Broncos. I mean, it's like I didn't realize how deep we were.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and I thought Pat Surtain out, Dobbins are injured, he's out for the year. Pat Surtain out, Alex Singleton out. I was like, man, we're gonna get destroyed on defense, especially on the passing, especially going against the Chiefs, and then to find out that they just couldn't do anything. And we literally, Travis Kelce had one drive the entire game that actually did something. That's it. I was like, okay. So I think Bills wise, they got to have some depth, man. Like
they don't have a lot of depth on the wide receiver room. I think Ed Oliver's been in and out of games lately. He's their big defensive guy up front. But it's just not. I mean, I'm a little worried if I'm Bills fans right now. But
yeah,
you got the owner of the Bears might not play against them. Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh. They go to Chicago this weekend. Aaron Rodgers has a fractured left wrist, not needing surgery. Will he play? He's gonna try and practice. I think he practiced on Friday just to see if he can actually play. I hope so, because I need the Bears to lose, but I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is able to go or not in this one. And I hate to see him injured his last season. So I don't know. It's non-throwing wrist. But how comfortable can you be trying to hold the ball, taking snaps under center, things like that, handing the ball off to your running back with your left hand?
My concern is when he gets sacked. What's your automatic instinct when you're falling down? Is to put your hand out, and it's going to be your non-throwing hand because you don't want anything to happen to your throwing hand. So for years, you've been trained to put that left hand down to brace, and if it's already fractured, if he lands on it or something like that, I think without any kind of protection, he's going to have to put some kind of wrap on there. But if he does, that could affect some things. I think that's a bad thing waiting to happen. But I get that you don't want to go to your backup because it's not a great option. So and you're trying to stay in the playoff hunt.
What grade,
trying to stay top of the division.
Fracture it is it? Like, what grade of a fracture is it? Because if it's a
I don't think
grade,
it's
then
a
it's
high
like,
grade one.
Then he may just be able to just go, look, I'm not playing this game, but if I sit a couple weeks, I should be able to at least heal it a bit. If it's a small hairline fracture or something that's not as crazy of a time frame to come back, like not a complete fracture where you're just like, okay, dude, you're out for at least a month, like I don't know. I just look at it like I wouldn't necessarily put him in this game. I would just say, look, just sit out. We'll see what happens. We win. We look at it as icing on the cake. We lose. We're really expected to win.
Yeah, and they said it's not. They said he's not expected to miss a lot of time. He's questionable this game, but
right.
So it's got to be a low grade. You would hate to see him injure it more, and then you're talking about out for the rest of the season type thing, and in the cold weather in Chicago, it's not going to be.
I mean, the same thing happened to Peyton Manning during the year we went to that Super Bowl 50. Like he was out for 2 games, and then when he came back, he just couldn't even feel like 2 of his fingers. I'm like, all right, man, just go.
Patriots play Cincinnati. Patriots should win that one. Drake May still ruled out against the Lions this week. Lions should get an easy win. Jameis Winston, though, you never know.
Hold on. Drake May, what?
Not Drake May. I said Patriots. I said talking about Patriots, and then went to the Giants. Giants quarterback Jackson Dart rolled out again this week. Unfortunately, they'll play the Detroit Lions. That should be an easy win for the Lions. Minnesota at Green Bay. Green Bay's got 3 important games coming up. We play our division. We got Minnesota, short rest against the Lions in Detroit. That is not looking very good. And then we play the Bears. So very important next 3 weeks for Green Bay. Seattle should beat Tennessee. You got Colts and the Chiefs. Chiefs hanging on. This is going to be in Kansas City. They're hanging on to their season. I think not a must win, but it's getting pretty close.
Oh, I would call it a must win.
I think the Chiefs probably win this one. This might be one of those Indianapolis games because it's hard to win in Kansas City. You got Baltimore and Jets. Who cares? Cleveland Raiders. Gosh, toilet bowl there. Jacksonville, Arizona. Who cares? Philadelphia going to Dallas should be a good game. That's going to be a good one. That's a 3:25 game. So get ready to watch that.
I think it's going to be a close game.
I'm interested to see how Quinn Williams does. And
how many tush pushes will we see in this game, Brian?
It's going to be a defensive game. It's going to be a defensive game.
Will we see like 4 in a row?
God, I hope not. It's 1st and 10. They pull up the tush push.
God. They're on the 10-yard. They're on the 10-yard line. You're like, you're already doing a tush push.
I'm interested to see how Dallas handles the run because in the first game, Jalen Hurts ran shop over them. He had probably 60 yards himself.
Without that, you probably win the game.
Well, I think without the rain delay, you win the game. Dallas had switched momentum around and was coming, and after the rain delay, neither team did anything offensively, and
that kind of derailed the whole game. That sucks momentum out.
So
happens in baseball too. It's annoying.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. If you knew the storm was coming, you should have never brought them out after halftime. You should have let it go through and then brought them back out. Just had an extended halftime rather than bring them out, play for 5 minutes, and then put them back in. That derailed the whole thing. But Dallas at home, you will have their defensive guy that got ejected before.
Carter.
So Jalen Carter will be there.
Unless he spits on somebody, but
right.
God,
I think it'll be a good football game. I'll be very curious to see what Dallas does defensively. They just cut Kyer Elam. They released him. That experiment failed miserably. That guy couldn't cover a fire hydrant. There's that.
Now he's covering a fire hydrant.
Interested to see Overshawn this week. He came back. They kind of had him on a pitch count. So I'm kind of curious to see what he does. Offensively, the Pickens and CeeDee Lamb show has been absolutely amazing. I'd like to see what they do against a top-notch Philadelphia defense, as people call it. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, they mollywop the Raiders, which is to be expected.
Right.
But
the Raiders are not good at football.
God.
They're only good when they play my team.
The lack of effort on the defensive side of the ball, I'm like, wow, They were terrible. They were absolutely terrible.
At one point they just watched somebody go in. The defensive guy just went, oh.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Pickens, I understand Pickens had some moves, but Pickens just split 3 defenders and was just like, oh, I'm in.
Yeah, they talked about it on the radio.
You can watch Pickens brace. When he cuts in, he braces, and then he's like, oh, it didn't hit me. Oh, okay, cool.
They talked about on the radio like Pickett's made a major cut, and I'm like, I watched the play, and they just they were watching him. I'm like, what are you doing?
Cut over guys that are standing in quicksand apparently because they just didn't move.
I have never seen a defender just watch a guy go in. I was like, that's
show you the way.
Wow,
he looked like a flight attendant. He's like, here, this way.
Ridiculous, dude. I was like, what in the world? That's why they're the Raiders.
God, they're horrible.
You got Atlanta and Saints. Nobody cares. Tampa Bay at the Rams. This is going to be a good one there. It should be pretty good. I'm hoping
Tampa
Baker gets his weapons back
a little bit. Yeah, he needs
they
to right
do
the ship a little bit.
They're 6-4 all of a sudden. We're going wait.
Right.
This team maybe is not as good as we thought they were, but they've had a lot of injuries.
Lost a lot of guys. They've lost.
We shall see what happens. And then the Monday night game is atrocious. Carolina at the 49ers. I mean, Carolina's played.
Carolina team.
I mean,
they're a better team than we thought.
Played pretty good games. Like, you can't just write that off. They played some pretty decent games. They put up some points.
If somebody told you Carolina was going to have 5 or 6 wins, you'd have laughed.
I would have. And they do, but it's just like.
I mean, that's another guy. That's another talk about coach of the year. That might be the guy there. Might be runner up. Because of what their expectations were.
I'm just not expecting a very good football game Monday night. Is just all. I mean, we shall see.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. 49ers void Brandon Ayuk's guaranteed money. His time in San Francisco might be up. FYI,
they voided it. Why clause?
Some loophole. I think they think that he can play, and he's decided not to, or some. I don't really know, but Ayuk, they voided the guaranteed money, so he's going to lose about $54 million now. That was guaranteed, that is not now guaranteed. So
he's always been an issue with them.
Right.
There's always
he
been
held
some
out,
head case.
And yes, and yeah,
and he's not that good. Like
that was very interesting to see that come down Friday when they said they voided that contract. So that'll be interesting to see if Brandon Ayuk plays another snap in San Francisco.
You know what? I've heard rumors, speaking of the 49ers, that the Minnesota Vikings are going to, at the end of the year, going to trade for Matt Jones. And I'm like, wow, that says, hey, we don't believe in our guy. We don't believe we got the right quarterback. We need someone that's going to maybe play now.
I love J.J. McCarthy, but I love college J.J. McCarthy. I went public record and said that I thought the game would be too fast for him. And I don't know. Maybe if he gets the right guy,
yeah, that could be.
Maybe he can make a Drake May, deal. But I don't think so. I think JJ will be a kind of a career backup. And
you know what?
Man, there's guys that have made
millions, just
a lot of money
being a backup,
just holding clipboards, bouncing around the NFL, and
100%
and playing.
Brian, do you want to go hold a clipboard?
Okay. I'll hold a clipboard for half that price.
All of a sudden, if somebody gets injured, they're like, Brian, get in there.
You're in.
Like, oh my
God, man.
I can
horrible.
I should be able to at least hand the ball off. I gotta, at least.
Well, I could tell you right now, I could probably throw for more than 17 yards, Davis Mills, in a half of football. I could probably do that.
I just think it's interesting because with the whole JJ McCarthy, and the Viking fans have got to been shooting themselves. They're watching Andy Dalton shoot it up over here in Seattle, and they're like, "And we got for this guy? Come on!" And then you're gonna go and get Andy Dalton, not Andy Dalton, but Mac Jones. I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny.
Mac Jones will sign a contract somewhere. He has done enough that he will go sign for good money somewhere.
Can we just hopefully the NFL eventually says we're not going to do these Thursday night prime games anymore?
I don't know.
Ever since these prime games have been going on Thursday nights, it's been horrible. Weird losses, strange
I don't know if
scores.
it was the quick turnaround.
What the heck?
I don't know, but my God, that was awful.
They're all bad. Like, even the one the Broncos played, I'm going to tell you right there, that was a bad one too. I was like, what kind of stupid game was this?
That was terrible. The Packers-Eagles was terrible.
I'm like, was that the tush push that was 4 times in a row? And I was just, was that the Thursday night? Or
I don't think it was.
No, okay. But all these like Thursday prime games have been absolute garbage. I was like, okay,
I was at my brother's house because, Eagles Packers were Monday night, and YouTube TV said "F you, Disney," and I didn't get football on Monday nights, and I didn't get the college games on Saturday nights, and I was really mad about it. So I'll go to my brother's house. I got to be at work at 3 a.m. Sunday night, I'm watching the game. I watch it all the way to the fourth quarter. I'm like, all right, if we don't do anything this drive, I'm going home and I'm going to bed. And we didn't do anything. I said, all right, man, I'm out. I'm going to sleep. On the way home, I listened to it. Eagles scored a touchdown. We're down 10-0. I said, that's it. We're going to lose. Then we scored a touchdown, and then it came down to a field goal, and we got blocked. I'm like, of course. I mean, we played shit all night long, and the Eagles defense played really well. But the Thursday night games, I don't know.
They're all bad. They've all been bad.
I don't know why. I mean, Amazon's paid plenty of money for it, but I'd be like, can you give us something, NFL? Can you give us 2 good teams?
And in defense, when they scheduled it, it wasn't supposed to be Davis Mills. It was supposed to be C.J. Stroud, and the Texans were supposed to be better. I get a lot of that. You know, a lot of these games are worse because of who's playing. You know, nobody expected C.J. Stroud to get destroyed and be out for 3 weeks because he can't tell you what day it is.
That was a clean hit. I don't know what he slid way low, way late on that one. He slid late.
You're not supposed to hit a guy sliding.
He's slid late. He slid late.
And in the head and neck area. That was
he slid late, and that was a
I didn't see the hit
to the chest. To the chest. It was not a hit to the head. They picked
I love my favorite hit of the season's been when Mahomes got speared on the sideline. No penalty flag. I'm like, that was beautiful.
Wait, you didn't like this? You didn't like the sandwich hit that we gave him when he tried to run and didn't slide, and we had 2 defenders just go boom.
I didn't see that either.
that whole game, he got destroyed.
He stopped to throw it. Just I'm like, oh man! I'm waiting for the flag. No flag.
Right at the ref, like,
you're talking about when he did that? When he did this? When he was sitting there grabbing his head?
This was the game before. This was the game before they were playing. I don't remember who they were playing, but that guy just unloaded. And
he was running the sideline, and he stopped to throw it, and the guy just boom, and he gets tackled on the sideline. I was like, holy crap, that's got it. They're gonna throw a flag. It's Mahomes, and nothing. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I thought they were gonna throw a flag when we sacked him that last drive, and I was like, because he kept touching his head, and I'm like, get out of here, dude. You were trying to throw the ball. A guy was trying to grab it. Stop.
My concern with Green Bay is Josh Jacobs, man. He's probably gonna miss this game against. You
got
Watson. We play this week. And we got Watson made a fantastic catch last week. You see that? See that on the final drive? Beautiful. We dropped 8 passes last week. I'm screaming at the TV, catch the ball! 4th and 8. I'm like, we're going for it on 4th and 8. Throws it right in the breadbasket. Drop. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then they make 2 fantastic catches at the end, and we win the game. Jameis Winston
by the way,
had a good game. I wish.
Brian's cousin.
Be like, hey, give me some money.
Jameis Winston playing with house money. Just driving the car like he stole it.
Yeah, and it's please tell Ryan. Ryan texted me, y'all almost lost to a 3rd string. I said, don't sit here and act like Jameis Winston doesn't come in every season and throw for 350 on one of these games he's playing. Don't sit here and act like Jameis Winston's absolute garbage. All right, not a 3rd string quarterback. Yeah. So no, he played really well. They had a good game plan, but ultimately we drove down the field and did what we did, and we won the game. We play Minnesota this week. We should win this one, and then we play the Lions in Detroit.
JJ McCarthy had the game of his life.
Yeah, 500 yards. You know what I need? I need Rashawn Gary to get his head out of his ass and start getting to the quarterback. That guy has done nothing since he's had the first 2 games. He had 4.5 sacks. I'm like, the Micah Parsons effect, baby. They're all quadruple teaming him. Gary's just eating, and he has done nothing since. I'm like, where the hell has this guy
And we're on the
been?
back half of the season, so you're going to start losing Micah Parsons' productivity as each game goes on.
Get out of here, dude. Get out of here with that.
I've seen it for 5 years.
Oh yeah, the other
They
thing
quadruple
too
team him, man. It's ridiculous. I'm like, oh my god, He's back there every play, but he can't get a sack. I'm like,
there's this narrative going around that they're like, well, Vance Joseph, he'll get a head coaching job. I'm like, I think Vance Joseph's head coaching days are over.
Done. Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen it
the
twice.
Experiment at least twice, and it doesn't work.
No.
First of all, he's
Josh
from
McDaniels Jr.
He's from here. He was a player at CU. I think he even coached at one point over at CU. So I'm like, this guy's not going anywhere, dude. The Walmart group is gonna pay this guy however much they need to.
We didn't talk about it, guys. What are we doing? Shedeur Sanders gets his first start in the NFL this weekend. We get to see him be bad at football.
Hold on.
He did have a couple drops.
Is it on prime time football or is it not prime time?
I'm telling you right now, he almost, that should have been a game-winning comeback drive, and those guys, he threw some dimes. He threw some passes that I was like, is this Shedeur Sanders? Who did they put a Sanders jersey on? I'm like, this guy's making pretty good throws.
Let's
made
see
2 or 3 right in the deal, and they just dropped them. The hell, the one in the end zone at the end of the game was catchable.
Let's see who they play this week. Oh hell, they might win.
They toilet bowl, Brian.
They play the Raiders. They might win this one. They might win. It is.
He's going to look like a superstar now.
Bowl. He's going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl. The toilet bowl, man. Yeah, he might win this one.
He might actually win this one. Actually,
he might look like a real quarterback.
Yeah. Well, it's been an hour and 5 minutes, 7 minutes now.
Are we not even going to ask where Odell Beckham Jr. is going?
I don't even know if he's still.
Care,
is he still?
Or
he's done.
He has been reinstated.
He's washed.
He has been reinstated, Brian.
Is he with Baltimore? Isn't that who he's
I don't know. They're talking about Chiefs. I have no idea.
God, he needs to retire. The guy's done. I mean, over. Just like Adolis Garcia's time in the Rangers, over. I had to throw that in there. Adolis Garcia and
2 year. That's a 2 year.
What a drop in 2 years, but
you went from being the MVP to not even.
Last year, I'm going. We trade him and get somebody back for him.
They tried. Apparently, no one. Apparently, the phone never rang. They're like, "Hey, is this thing on?"
Well, this year, I mean, they were like, the report came out. It was like, if they can't trade him in 2 weeks, they're gonna just get rid of him. I'm like, well, who's calling for that? Nobody. I could pick him up next week for nothing. Come on. But anyways,
he'll be
Anaheim.
He'll be in the World Baseball Classic. Come on, play for Cuba.
He'll probably go to L.A. and help win another championship.
Not a bad idea to go showcase some talent and maybe go have a good World Baseball Classic and try to get a contract. Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
I mean, he's 32. No, I'm not paying him a contract after the last 2 seasons. So, but
he's made enough money. He doesn't need one.
He'll go to the Dodgers and.
There's rumors about Seager going to the Dodgers. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, I saw that today.
Yep.
I hope
baseball will shut down. They will need a mercy rule.
I might not watch next year if that happens.
Yeah.
But anyways, sorry, I didn't even get off baseball. We don't get on baseball right now, and with an hour and 10 minutes going on in. But any other football news before we shut down the show? This episode of the Sportscast, guys. Anything else? Anything else?
I got to buy, so I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Jason Robertson's the hottest guy in hockey. 8 goals in the last 5 games.
8 goals and oof.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
anything he throws at the net is going in.
That's good for the Dallas Stars. Yeah. Really good for the Dallas Stars.
Dallas Stars need to figure out who's going to be at American Airlines Center and who's not.
Now they're suing the Dallas Mavericks. See that? They're suing each other back and forth.
I think the Mavericks are going to Arlington. How about that?
That all stemmed from basically there was a rumor that once the lease was up, they were going to take the Stars to North Richland Hills and build an arena and void their lease and all of a sudden people are suing each other and that's a mess.
Why go there? Like, I just don't see North Richland Hills as a place for anybody.
I don't know, but it's closer than Dallas, so I can get there in 20 minutes. I can't take the train. I can't take the train anymore, so I'd have to pay for parking. But I can be there in 20 minutes.
I think the Mavericks want to go to Arlington and just do something right out there.
I think the Mavericks need to worry about winning some damn basketball games.
They have one. They won yesterday.
Cooper Flag
points, dude.
Cooper Flag dragged 29 last night.
He had 29 last night, dude. He whooped butt last night, dude.
Cooper Flag has now played more games than Anthony Davis has for the Dallas Mavericks. Wow, that is stupid. Street clothes, man. God, that's ridiculous.
He's just
Nico is okay. Here's the deal. Nico Harrison is gone. Okay.
Yeah,
he was from reports that have come out telling Kidd what to do with the lineup. That's why you had a lot of weird crap going on at the very beginning of the year where people are like, why is this guy playing this position? What the heck is going on over here?
You're never going to trade Anthony.
Yeah, I don't think I think that Kidd wants to see the pieces come together for them. Now that you're putting players in positions to play their position they're supposed to play, all of a sudden they look better. You're just like, oh, oops. Like Cooper Flag's dropping 29 points and Klay Thompson's finally making shots. Like now you just got to get Kyrie back and that's it. Like, so I don't know. They're playing a lot better than they were playing.
Reports came out that they might trade Anthony Davis and then Mark Cuban said,
for what?
No,
a bag of peanuts?
Yeah.
We're not trading Mark. We're not trading him. We're trying to win football or basketball games. They got a long way to go. They're 5-12 right now. It's early in the season, but
I like Cooper Flag is becoming more comfortable, and you can see it in almost every game. Is he playing? You can see it. I don't know. They had him at a weird position earlier in the season. I can't remember, but I think he's at his normal position now.
Looked like he was playing power forward last night.
Yeah,
Kidd wanted to put him in a point guard to make him a little uncomfortable and get you. But I'm like, let's get him comfortable in the NBA before we make him uncomfortable first.
I think that's what he wanted to do, but Nico was like, no. The whole offense is gonna run through Cooper Flag. I'm like, that's not right, dude. He's freaking 18 years old. Like, let him just let him.
The dude's the kid, man.
Yeah, and he's gotten more comfortable. And I'm like, good luck, NBA. Like, that's dangerous. You got to steal a couple blocks, like, and 29 points. Like, I mean, he's ridiculous.
All right, guys.
I don't know what's going on in LA. Well, one other thing, I don't know what's going on in LA, but something's going on with Luka and LeBron. I don't know what it is. They don't seem to very much like each other.
No,
LeBron just came back from the G League, didn't he?
LeBron walked out.
Well, Bronny got benched.
Yeah, Bronny sucks.
Because he was 1 for 140.
God, horrible.
Yeah, Bronny's terrible.
He can't hit the water if he's throwing the ball in the ocean.
We know he's here just because his dad. It wasn't nepotism. Get out of here. The guy's trash. And it's so funny because there's a guy who makes fun of it all the time. They're like, man, the Lakers offense scored between these three players. They scored 49 points.
and it's 35 for Luka, 23 for Reeves, and 0 for Bronny James.
And 0 for Bronny James. And they put it up there every time. I'm like, it's great. I love it. But I don't know. Luka's looking fantastic right now, man. Guy's a beast.
Just stay up. Just stay up.
God, I miss that guy.
Oh, and also
he dunked the other night.
Oh, yeah. It's rare. It's funny to see him dunk. But somebody asked the question when Nico got fired. This is weird. I don't know why he worded it this way. It was very strange, but at one point Luka said he'd never come back to Dallas. Nico gets fired. Mark Cuban's now back in whatever position he was in before they told him to go sit on a couch. And like in the interview, they asked Luka about coming, they talk about Dallas, whatever. He said, oh yeah, it's my home. It's always going to be, the fan bases are always, it always feels like home, blah, blah, blah. They asked him if he would ever come back. And he said, well, right now I'm just focused on playing with the Lakers. And I'm like,
what's he supposed to
what does that mean? Like he's only got 3 years. Like, I mean, and then that's it. He's not going to, he's going to end up being a free agent, get as much money as possible. But I'm like, what does that mean? It's just weird how he worded it. He's in other interviews, he said, I'm never coming back to Dallas again. No way. Like, and in this one, he just like left the door open. And I'm like, what does that mean, dude? Weird.
Well, we would take him back with open arms.
Well, ownership Dumont already said it was a mistake. So,
yeah, anybody with half a brain could have told you that.
Dumont's not a sports guy, but Dumont then said, I have to right the wrongs done to the fans and to the organization. So we'll see what he does.
We're working on bringing Dirk back in and, getting him back with the franchise. And
the reason I would not do that is as much as in shambles as this team is right now, you're going to tarnish a legacy that is impeccable. If he becomes part of this organization and they fail, I'm afraid that you tarnish a very, very legendary figure in the state, in the organization.
It's just a PR move, pretty much.
Well, but did that happen with Nolan Ryan? Well, I mean, y'all went to the World Series.
It's just a PR move at this point. Hey, we got to get fans back on our side. Let's bring in a friendly face and Dirk. And I don't think anybody's going to hold it against him. If he comes in and they start losing it. Did we hold it against Michael Jordan that the when he owned some of the Pelicans that it was terrible? I know.
No, probably not.
So I don't think anybody would. But anyways, all right. Well, that's the show. I know it'd be a longer one today, anyways. But guys, come. Like the show, comment. We didn't get no comments today. We've been changing up the schedules. That's on us. We apologize. We've been getting a little more traction on Tuesdays, Craig, I noticed. So, but we all three should be on next Tuesday. Craig or Jeff, you said you're gonna make it next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll be here. So,
all right, guys. Well, that's the show today. We talked about the power rankings, anything football wise, and a little bit of Dallas Maverick basketball at the end of it. Hope you guys all have a good Turkey Day. We'll be back one more show on Tuesday live before Thanksgiving, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and anything that happened on the weekend. So, God bless, and remember,